Quilliam Foundation, because I'm joined now by AJMAL Masrooor, an imam in North London. He joins me from there. Very good to talk to you. So I don't know if you heard the points being put there by Mr. Hussain, but let me put his last point to you. What would you say, what do you say to young men who come to you and say, look, I'm thinking of going to Syria to join the battle?
I have a simple message for them. Going to Syria isn't the solution. Actually, that is part of the problem. We need to say to young people everywhere that you need to be constructive, you need to engage in the political process wherever you are, you need to lobby your government, you need to be involved in the media, you need to be the opinion former, those who make a difference in their society. Going over to Syria or Iraq is not going to solve Iraqi problem, Syrian problem or British problem. In fact, it's going to exasperate it, just like what we have seen happen in Iraq. You see, this group has murdered. Murdering in Islam is one of the biggest crimes that you can commit. Killing a journalist is most heinous, barbaric, brutal. ISIS and groups like that don't represent Islam, they don't represent humanity, and they're part of the biggest problem that we face in the 21st century world.
Yet numbers are going over to fight in Syria, presumably to fight in Iraq. Why then do you think they're not getting the message that there are other ways, even if you hold these beliefs that you do think that the West is involved in oppression of Muslims, there are other ways of doing that?
Well, I think what they're saying is, since democracy seems not to be working, they say, and they often quote the example of Egypt. Majority of the Egyptians voted for Morsi's government, and yet we have endorsed a dictatorship who has come to the government through a very questionable, if not unethical means. We have been supporting dictators and despots across the globe. So what they're saying is democracy is just a tool for suppression. And since democracy doesn't work, we're going to subvert that process, we're going to pick up arms and we're going to fight. And that's wrong, of course. What we have to do as a collective community of international community, and that is, we should say, we're together, we will promote democracy, we will promote freedom for all people, we'll condemn Syria and Syrian regime, we'll condemn ISIS for its brutality, but we'll also condemn Israel for perpetrating the atrocities against the Gazans. So consistent message of peace and justice, consistent message of democracy is what I think the world wants to listen to, as well as young people will listen to. Okay,
but do people in the Muslim community regard people who are fighting for the Islamic State or ISIS, do they regard them as terrorists?
I think Muslims across the globe would say exactly that not in our name. These people have hijacked and given very bad name to Islam and destroyed the reputation of Muslim community across the globe. The fact that I have to stand here and explain myself is in itself an example of the failure, the abysmal failure. And what we have to do is not give these nutters, these terrorists, these extremists any credence than they've already got. We are collective and together in it, Muslims, non-Muslims alike. We do not stand for this brutality and barbarism, but we stand for democracy for all people, law and order for everybody, freedom of everyone. We want to end the crisis in Gaza, in Palestine. We want to end the troubles in Iraq. We want to end the troubles in Kashmir, in Somalia, in Bangladesh, in Pakistan. How are we going to do that? By being consistent with our approach and our philosophy.
OK, Mr. Masrooor, thank you very much indeed. AJMAL Masrooor there.